This is episode 7 of The Wolf Condition. Instinct is often mischaracterized as impulsive behavior, but in reality, instinct is a form of early pattern recognition. It's information your brain and body register before you can articulate why something starts to matter to you. And it's important to clarify because a lot of people dismiss instinct just because it doesn't come with any explanation. It just arrives, and you don't know what to do with it sometimes. And in professional settings, particularly in HR, instinct shows up before there's evidence. Someone notices that a situation slightly feels off or a response feels rehearsed, and sometimes you can just tell when a dynamic is misaligned. There's no policy violation, no documented issue, no clear action to take just yet, but it doesn't mean that your instinct is wrong. It means that the signal is early. And instinct isn't a conclusion, it's an alert. It tells you where to pay attention to before something escalates or becomes too obvious. And most people are trained to override the signal. They can't justify logically or explain it or, able to clarify what it means to someone else, so they'll assume it's unreliable. They'll believe whatever is easier. And what they're actually doing is ignoring early data when they're ignoring their instinct. And the same process shows up in dating. People expect instinct to feel emotional or intense. They associate it with chemistry, excitement, or immediate certainty, but instinct in relationships is often much quieter. It shows up as noticing that you feel unsettled after an interaction rather than energized, or realizing you're managing the interaction instead of participating in it naturally. You'll start to overthink what to do next or how to step. But in my own experience, I've been in situations where nothing was technically wrong. Communication was consistent, effort was present. On paper, everything made sense, but my body just braced during every interaction. Not anxious, not emotional, just alert. And I ignored it because there was no obvious justification to leave. And that's a common pattern. Instinct is dismissed not because it's dramatic, but because it's reasonable to ignore. And this is where instinct differs from fear. Fear is urgent, it escalates, it repeats itself and demands immediate action. Fear changes its reasoning as it tries to get your attention, but instinct doesn't try to do anything. It's steady. It doesn't increase pressure to do anything. It doesn't argue. It just remains consistent. It's like that whisper in the back of your mind, or that song you can't get out of your head. And one of the most reliable ways to distinguish instinct from fear is repetition. These fear loops. Instinct does not. Instinct presents itself once and it stays unchanged. Another difference is tone. Fear feels loud and sometimes compressed, like suffocating, but instinct feels natural. It's neutral. It's signaling something different, like more serious, but it's not chaotic. It's clear. And when instinct is ignored, it doesn't disappear. It shows up later as friction. In the workplace, this might look like burnout, conflict, or a sudden breakdown that appears. Unexpected, but we're forming quietly over time. And in relationships, it shows up as emotional exhaustion, loss of attraction, or the sense that you're doing work that you never agreed to do. And people often describe this as losing interest or losing feelings, but more often it's delayed listening. Instinct is not impulsive. Impulse seeks immediate relief. Instinct seeks alignment. Impulse reacts. Instinct observes. You don't need to strengthen instinct or make it louder. People already register it accurately. The skill is learning not to override it simply because you can't explain it. Instinct is information without language. It arrives before logic, before justification, before any sort of narrative. And when the same quiet signal keeps returning without urgency or escalation, it's usually worth paying attention to. Instinct knows first, long before you can explain why. If this episode clarified something for you, there's no need to rush it. Instinct tends to be most useful when you give it time to stay consistent rather than forcing a response. In the next episode, we'll look at what happens after instinct registers, the subtle ways people talk themselves out of what they already know, and the process shows up in work, relationships, and decision making. That's coming up next on The Wolf Condition. Thanks so much for listening.